It always comes down to this one thing. Hello friends, my name is Fred. Today I want to talk to us about identity crisis. And I'm sure you'll agree with me that we live in a world now where there is so much at stake that we're trying to find our identity from. There are the racial issues that are going on, there are gender issues, there are culture wars, there are all sorts of things that's making people struggle to find their identity with. There are those who find their identity in their gender, there are those who find their identity in their race, there are those who find their identity in their cultural upbringing, there are those who find their identity in the titles that they possess, there are those who find their identity in their jobs that they do, there are those who find their identity in the society that they belong in, the schools that they go to, their pedigree and all sorts of things. While all that's great, when it comes to identity, it always comes down to one thing, and that's character. Yes, character. In an article in Psychology Today, it writes that when you meet someone, what draws you to that person, or the ability for you to be able to approach that person and connect with them, comes down to their character. And that character is what is a fundamental shaper, if you will, of identity. It's not the title, it's not our race, it's not our gender, it's none of those things. While all those things are important, character is the most important thing that truly should define your identity. If you think about it, after all is said and done, when someone has to talk about you or write about you, or at your funeral when you're not here, all the things that we struggle to find our identity in, our race, our gender, our societal class, our background, our educational levels, while all those things are important, they pale in comparison to what really defines a person, which comes down to moral character. So my question for you, as we strive to find our identity in society today, what are you finding your identity? What are you basing your identity on? Is it the money that you have? Is it your social class? Is it your title? Is it your gender? Is it your race? What are you basing your identity on? And this reminds me of the famous quote by Martin Luther King, when he said, and I quote, that I have a dream that one day my 4 little children will be judged not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Martin Luther King's words ring so true in today's environment as we think about finding identity, as we think about our desire, as we think about what we also find our identity. And this has sparked a lot of controversies. There are those who believe that this was undermining race and all that. No, that's not the point. All of those things are important. But truly, to echo Martin Luther King's words, what matters, what truly should define us as individuals, what truly should define you, should not be any of those things. Should not be race, should not be gender, should not be the money that you have, should not be the society that you grew up in. All of those are important. But the one thing that truly should define our identity and get us out of this identity crisis is character. So the question I have for you as we wrap this up, my friends, is what defines your identity? Thank you for watching. And as always, think on these things.